So trap is an interesting event. The idea here is to kill this guy as he's trying to get in. And as you can see from the number of points here, we're going for a pretty big one, 10,252,866 hit points. You want your alliance obviously to generate as many rallies as possible and do as much damage as possible. There are a few strategies. I'm going to cover strats in a different video. So in this one, I'm just going to cover some basic strategies of getting as many points as you can. The one technique that I like to use is, first of all, when you're forming a rally towards the trap, only use hunters. You want to use hunters only hunters in the largest rallies that you can. The other way to do this is to maximize the points you get in other rallies. In other words, selectively pick those that you want to join, that you know have good stats, that you can get as most points out of as possible. One easy way to do that is usually look at the ones with the largest rally sizes. And someone like Builder here, this would be, with a 1,074,000 would be someone you'd join. There are tons of others here that you could join, that 1,037,000, 1,009,000. Myself is 4, and then pick 2 others that you could get into, 1,025,000 there, and 1,006,000 there, and then 1,104 there. So the idea here is to get as many points as possible. One of the best strategy is A, use your best leaders in your rally first before you do anything else. Second is to use only hunters for your attack because you don't need defense. Third, join those rallies that are the largest, or those that that have the best stats, that do the most damage. And then third, only include hunters in those also. Hunters first, riders second, infantry last, and only if you have to include any infantry. That's the way to get your best points. You can keep track of who's got what points by clicking on the actual trap itself and saying view. Once the first rally hits, we're going to have all the rallies hit here in about 40 seconds. Between 40 and 55 seconds, everything will hit. And then I can show you setting a whole nother set of rallies and how to pick troops and basically how I do it. During strats, it's a little bit different. You're going to set up a bunch of formations, and then you'll go into, just clicking on those formations to join rallies so that you get exactly the right leaders in exactly the right spots. Once you get over Gen 4 heroes, it doesn't seem to have as much effect on the scores anymore. In Gen 5 heroes, it's obviously no reason to do it at all. The Gen 5 heroes do better than the strat heroes, the lower strat heroes. I haven't seen any of the newer ones that have strat things, and to be honest with you, I haven't looked real close, so there might be some there that could benefit from it. Damage you can see here is calculated live. High score is kept under here of who's hitting who, how much damage they've done. And then usually what I do is I wait for my rally, which is the gold one at the top, to return before I do anything else. This is because I want to make sure that one gets the best heroes possible. So at this point, I'll go into rally. I'm going to say select a rally. I'm going to make sure that my best heroes show up at the top, or then if they're not back yet, then I will switch them back. You also can you can also use buffs. Like in this case, I should use my massive march buff to get a few extra troops into it. You can also use the settlement buff to get even more troops into it. I'm going to turn down both the infantry and the riders and turn up the hunters all the way. And then I'm going to go into the other rallies and look for those that have the best chance of giving me the most points and send what I can to them. If it's full, I just move on to the next one. And just, that one only had 90,000 in it, but that's what happens sometimes when you take your time like I'm doing today. You just go in, you increase the number of hunters as you have them available. Like I know Slav here has got good stats, so I'll send a full set of hunters his way. I don't have room for a full set, so I'll just send a set of troops. Make sure I get in when it starts getting close to the end there. Right here, add some hunters there. That's me. As we get towards the bottom here, we start getting more and more critical, and times get slower and slower. So really the more important ones to fill are the ones at the top, because that allows you to get into more and more rallies because you have more and more time. Here I don't have enough room. I don't have enough hunters, so I'm going to start switching to fill it in with riders. And now I'm full. And as you can see, doing it that way allows you to casually go through and pick them, because the first one being the gold one, which was mine, I have my best heroes in there, and I have guaranteed troops to put what I want in there. And then as my best selections are at the top, those are the ones that get the hunters. And as it starts to get less, the pickings get less and less, or the rally choices are not as good as the ones before it. And sometimes they're even better because the other people who are great rally leaders join late. You can include into those. And then it's a matter of waiting again. Usually between this time, you can check that, we've only got 8.2 million hit points left. Check the stats. See who's in front. I'm in second by a big 38 points. And John Wick is going to run away with it today. And that's good news. And it's basically this for 30 minutes. If you do everything right, you can get one off at 30 minutes, and then you can get one off at 30, 20, 15, 10, and a fifth one. If you're really, 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 really active, most likely you'll only get 4 good rallies in there. But if you try really hard, you might be able to get one, a minute under, so let's say 29, 24, 19, 14, and 9. So yeah, you're going to get about 5 rallies, and you got about 2.5 minutes of spare time. So don't rush, because not having your rallies correct and not picking the right people and not sending the right troops can have a dramatic effect on what your points are. So one thing you want to look at is over here when things hit, like in Neon, I scored 1,191,000 points of damage. So Neon, and then Light, I got 1,127,000. So Light was a little bit more damaged than Neon. Under me, I got 2,352,000. So obviously I want to keep doing that one. And this is how you can score them. With Slava, got 1,700,000. So his second best. So I want to make sure that I get included in each of his rallies. And then 1,071,000. So it looks like most of these I picked. Here's one I picked, a little bit lower stats. So these were getting towards the more desperate side of things. Here, I don't know what I did wrong. His stats are really good. 1,300,000, and I only got 656. Could have been that it was one that I sent less troops in, and it also could have been one that I didn't send the right mix of troops. So those are the kind of things you want to watch for and make sure that you get it correct. If you see that happening a lot, either don't join as many rallies, because it's more important that you join them correctly than it is just to join them. Get your rally right, and then take your time and get the other rallies right. And when you get done with it, you pretty much will end up with them all hitting around the same time anyway, because everyone's starting them around the same time. So that's pretty much how I do trap. Majority of the time I come in first place. A lot of that has to do with my stats, not necessarily with my techniques. And so we'll talk about strats in another video, and that'll show you how to get some extra points, especially before you get into Gen 4 and Gen 5 heroes. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Y'all have a good day.